Good morning. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can see me and hear me clearly. Excellent is your name. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I think this is episode 5. Yes, episode 5. Good morning. Excellent is your name. On YouTube, on Instagram, good morning and welcome to our business conversations themed how to stay top of mind of your customers. We started this series because we wanted to equip our entrepreneurs with the skills they needed or they need in order to stay top of mind of their customers. We know that there's a lot of instability across both economies and polity. But as an entrepreneur, this doesn't have to be your own, if you see what I mean. It doesn't have to tear down or affect how you do business if you know the right things to do to stay top of mind of your customers. And so today, I'm going to be teaching you how to build your business based on value, not just quantity. Because it's a tendency to just want to drive in numbers that allows you begin to dump down on quality. It's a trap because if you want to stay top of mind of your customers, that's not the way to go. The way to go must be to, at every point in time, project value beyond the quantity. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to build a value-based business. But as our culture, we're going to start with an opening prayer. Dear Jesus, thank you for today. Thank you for the entrepreneurs in the Association of African Startups. Thank you for their connectivity and their connection here. Thank you for their plantedness here. According to your word, you said those who are planted in the house of our God will flourish like a palm tree as they are planted in the Association of African Startups whose root is in you, O God. Let them flourish in their business. Let them multiply in their business. Let them be fruitful in their business so that at the end of every year we would have cause to glorify your name. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen and amen. Okay, good morning once again and welcome to our business conversations. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to build a value-based business. So, the first thing to recognize is in order for you to build a value-based business, you have to deeply understand your customers' needs, their desires. Then your product and services must be weaved around their needs and their desires. There are two different things, and there's a difference between need and desires. Need is something that they want to do now. Desires, however, is something inside them that they truly want. A lot of times customers can verbalize their desires and some other times they can't verbalize their desires. It's something inside of them, but they're either ashamed to admit it or they're uncomfortable to admit it, or the culture does not allow them feel like it's normal to express that desire. So as an entrepreneur who wants to build a value-based business, you have to sit down and unbundle who your customer avatar is. What is she truly dealing with? What is he truly dealing with? Do you see? For example, you want to sell to a woman who probably has a lot of breakouts on her face, right? And you're trying to position yourself as a value-based entrepreneur. Beyond telling her clear your pimples, clear your acne, which looks great, which is what she's looking for externally. But what you may not understand is that the presence of those acne on her face, right, may have dampened her self-esteem, may have sort of made her feel like she's not good enough, may have sort of made her feel insecure, may have sort of made her feel or drop her vision because like how does she keep appearing publicly for people to see this kind of face? Just what I'm saying. A lot of things goes on internally as touching the products and services that you sell to your customers. If you focus on just giving them the good without paying attention to what they're dealing with, you cannot relate to them on a value base, on a value level. Because ultimately, customers don't care what you have to sell until they know you care about them. That means I'm most likely to buy a product from you if I know that you care about me and you created that product or service with a place of concern for me. Human beings are selfish like that in nature. And so you who is an entrepreneur, you must build your products and services around this understanding that the people you are called to serve as much as they want the product or the service that you sell, they are looking for who will speak to the problem that they have valuably. They want to be convinced and convicted that this person understands my problem and is able to solve it. One time, I was looking for a particular kind of eye doctor, because, I think it was an eye doctor or leg doctor for my parents. And I'd explored speaking to different people. Then I met this one lady who had come to speak at an event, and we just began to chat. As we were chatting, I began to ask her really serious questions about this seeming condition I wanted to refer my mom to her for. And in our conversations, I realized that she was very knowledgeable about this particular service. She was so knowledgeable, and from just this interaction, she wasn't consulting with my mom, so she couldn't even ask my mom patient questions, doctor to patient questions. However, from just talking to me, you could tell that, or I could tell, that she cared about her clients. It was beyond the amount of money they were going to pay in her hospital. And I said to myself, I said, whenever I'm able to bring my mom to Lagos, this is the person I want to take my mom to, because I felt like this person, aside from knowing the job, she cared enough about her patient, and it was important to her that patients were taken care of. That's at that level. The same thing with you as an entrepreneur. The way you put out your content will determine whether the customers feel like you are the one who will give them qualitative results. Because there's qualitative results, there's quantitative results. Meaning mass production, that's quantitative. Since it's what you want, we have it, right? But qualitative results, customers need to know that you can give them qualitative results. And that would mean a lot of time that you are focused on projecting the value that you actually represent. And it may look like you're wasting your time because you're projecting value. Let me teach you how to do this. As an entrepreneur who wants to project value, yet you feel like you have bills to pay, create packages or products packages. Let me use that word. Create product packages and put those product packages out, maybe through a launch program or a sponsored ads. I use launch program because depending on the kind of goods that you sell, if you put a sponsored ad there, maybe you will get inquiries, you may not get conversions, right? But there's a way to launch a product or a service. So you can bundle specific products and put them in a launch program while you are building trust and authority. You are building trust and authority. Every business that is a product has the services part of that business. Most entrepreneurs are exploring just the product part and forgetting the services part. And yes, you may not be able to do the services part in the immediate, but the kind of value you are projecting to your customers will reveal the services part of that product that you sell and will open up bigger doors for you. For example, say you sell meal plans. This is what I'm saying. You sell meal plans. Somebody's trying to maybe shed their stomach and all of that, and they come to you to get like a meal plan. When you give them a meal plan and you've given them repeatedly, after a while, the people who you have given meal plan and you have valuably given them, the ways on how to implement their meal plan, after a while, you start having people come to you to say, come and coach me, come and help me achieve the result. So for every product, there's a services part of that product. In the past, you wonder, for the hair, I sell hair products, right? I sell hair, I make hair and all of that. What's the services? Very recently, well, not very recently, people now wash their hairs. That's the services part of the product that you sell. So yes, you sell actual human hair. But people wash their hair. That's a service. They wash, they revamp. And yet, to shock you, the amount of money they charge to revamp one hair. You who sells maybe one human hair of maybe 300,000 naira, a person can wash 10 hairs and she have made it 300,000 naira services. So yes, you may look at it and say, well, I'm not able to handle it. That's not true. The services part of your business is a way, it's a way to continually give value to your customers. Yes, you may be busy, not able to handle it physically. Create a team that is able to help your customers who have bought hairs from you previously maintain their hair. That way, it's a circle that keeps coming back, simply because you are positioning your business as a value-based business. Value-based meaning you're constantly projecting, right? Yes, is there a product? Is there always a product in every service? Every service you offer in itself is a product. Let me say it again. Every service you offer in itself is a product if packaged like that. For example, if I meet somebody who cleans cars, right? Who is a laundry person for cars, that's services, right? If somebody was to put that service, or if I was to meet that entrepreneur and say, so what do? They'll say, okay, I am a laundry person for cars. So what's your product? What's your exact product? Then they can now say, okay, my product is maybe they can give it a product name, revamping XYZ, or 360-degree cleanup for your interiors. If a funny name, that's the product. Even though it's a service, every service is a product. Do you see what I mean? It's a product. Because if you're going to put it maybe like on a shop for people to buy, it's a product. If you're going to put it online for people to buy, even though it's a service, it's a product. It's just that the category of that product is that it's a service. But every service is a product. Every product has a service attached to it. Did I explain that well? Did I explain that well? Right? Please let me know if you understand that. So to build a value-based business, the first, identify your target customer and their values. Fantastic. Identify your target audience and their values. You want to build a value-based business, you must be able to speak to the values of the people who you truly want to serve. The next thing is to make sure that your core values are crucial and they're clear. If you're going to build a value-based business, they need to be able to say, okay, for this particular brand, this is what they represent, this is how they are, and this is why they do what they do. And I know for an entrepreneur who is trying to build trust and build authority in the online space, this may take time. But make sure that while it's taking time, everything you say to your customers is what they actually accept. That means you can culture people to see you in a certain way by what you say about your products and your services, or what you say about your brand. So it's critical that whatever your core values are, it is highlighted repeatedly in your content pillars. It is highlighted repeatedly in your marketing message. That way, people can attribute a certain thing to somebody. For example, if you say you are the best jollof rice in town, right? You probably have written it in your bio, best jollof rice in town. Anyone who comes to your page can see it and see that, okay, this person wrote best jollof rice. It's not going to sink in immediately. But every time they see your posts and your ads or your conversations online, and they hear the best jollof rice in Lagos is here again, and they keep hearing it again and again, after a while you have indoctrinated them to believe that you are the best, even though your own may not be the best. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's important that you identify the values that you want to project yourself as, and you are repeatedly putting it out there so that everyone can see it. Number 3 is make sure that you clearly articulate what you want to help your customers with. Because I find that a lot of times we have great products, we have great services, but the customers who we want to serve, they don't understand how what you sell can help their life. I'll put it in that simple terms. You have a great product, you have a great service, but the customers that you are serving, they don't understand how your product or your service can help their life. Why should they buy the hair product that you sell? You must be able to articulate clearly how your product or your service helps their life becomes better. And that's how you get them to pay attention. So every time you write content as touching a product or a service that you want to sell or you want to put in the general public, it's important that at every point in time you articulate clearly how your solution is going to better their lives, how it's going to move them from point A to point B. And in some cases, if you are selling to maybe high net worth individuals, right, beyond telling them how to move them from point A to point B, show them how to save time for them. Show them how to give them return on investment. For high net worth individuals, they want to know how it saves time, how it gives me ROI. This is what I'm saying. How it improves the quality of my life. These things are critical to high net worth individuals. Once you know how to articulate it clearly, they will feel like, okay, this is the person for me, right? While for those in the middle echelon, lower echelon, they may not need to know all of that facts and figures, numbers. They may not need to know. Just let's show them a couple of people that it has worked for. Okay, it works for this person, that's fine, I'm gonna buy it, right? Then for those in the middle class, they like some facts and figures also, but I feel like they are more moved also by, the testimonies of those who have used the product and the service. So it's important that you articulate clearly how your product or your service can help the customer, right? The other thing to pay attention to if you want to build a value-based business is make sure that the system with which you sell to your customers is customer-centric. Very critical. If you don't have a customer-centric approach to building your business, what will happen is you cannot show value. You cannot show that you care about the business or the customers that you serve in your industry. It must be customer centric. Everything you do, you build, is about the people you have been sent to. And when I say customer centric, there are two categories of stakeholders I'm talking about here. The first is the customers who buy. The second is the team members who work with you, because those are also stakeholders. There's internal stakeholders, external stakeholders. If you care about the external stakeholders at the stake or at the expense of the internal stakeholders, after a while, the internal stakeholders will not be able to deliver the value that the external stakeholders need. It's critical. So make sure that at every point in time, you know exactly how to create a customer-centric approach, both for your internal and external stakeholders, right? Very critical. As I said earlier, that it's important that you integrate your core values into the communications of your brand so that people can relate specifics to you. Once they can relate specifics to you, it builds in their hearts certain levels of trust that makes them keep coming back, right? It's important that you also be genuine and transparent. If you want to build a value-based business, be genuine and transparent. If you are not genuine, if you are not transparent, customers can catch it just a mile away. And the moment they catch it, they can't explain why they don't want to do business with you. They just notice that they are skeptical about doing business with you. So genuineness, transparency is very critical in order to build a value-based business. Ultimately, it's about not just the quantity of products and services that you want to sell, but about the quality and how valued it is by those that you want to sell to. And the degree to which they value it is a function of how you position or stack up the value in the products and services that you sell. As an entrepreneur who is listening to me today, never come to a point where you think that anyone who is buying from you is doing you a favor. They're not. The reason why I'm saying this is the moment you begin to think that people are doing you a favor to do business with you, what happens is it makes it difficult for you to position your value and scream about your value, because already you feel like they're doing me a favor, so let me just conform to however they want, whatever they want. As an entrepreneur, you are the lifeline of every economy. Every economy, both developing economy, developed economy, we need you. Your customers need you. So you must understand how valuable you are and be able to confidently believe in your value enough to position yourself as the one who everyone needs to do business with. Well, when I say everyone, I'm speaking specifically to those who represent your target audience. You have to be deliberate about making sure that indeed you're targeting them where necessary, right? That being said, I'd like to take a few questions. If you're here, you have a question about projecting the value that your business has, please drop the question in the comment section and I will answer it. What struggles have you had with projecting your business as valuable in the eyes of your customers? What struggles have you had? Feel free to share and I will take your questions. Right. Thank you everyone, those of you on YouTube. Thank you everyone, those of you on Instagram. Thank you everyone, those of you on Telegram. I am grateful that you all took the time to join our live class today. Okay? Yes. You want to have a deep dive into the conversations we've had today. We have a bundle that we need to check out, and that bundle will help you develop the right mindset to position your business as a value-based business, not just as somebody who's looking for money in the marketplace. Last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago, I spoke on a platform and I said to them, the purpose of business is not just money. If the reason you're in business is just money, after a while, you will lose creativity because it will feel as though you're pushing against the wind. What should drive your motive for running a business is adding value to the lives of the people. And it looks like a business conversation, but it's really what it is. When the desire to be valuable to others is what consumes you, every day you see better ways to serve them. Everywhere you see deeper ways to actually provide solutions to them. And that's the fundamental of building any business that will succeed, right? Thank you all very much for joining today's live stream. The replays of the live stream will be available on all our platforms, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Telegram. God bless you all for joining our Instagram business conversations today. See you tomorrow by the grace of God by 10 a.m. God bless you.